So if you're a young person and you are trying to go into tech and you are looking for what particular thing do you do, how do you involve yourself, how do you navigate this thing? Some people have come to meet me and ask me, what is it thing about this tech and how do I break into tech? What skills do I need to learn? What skills? How do I push myself out there? And basically what I tell them first is, if you are trying to do anything, one thing that is very important for you to understand first is that you must get to learn more about it. Yes, I know that you want to be profitable in this field. You want to make money out of it. You want to build a business out of it. You want to use it and retire your parents. Yeah, and every other thing that you want to do. But you don't just go into it with that being your primary purpose. Okay, first of all, what you have to understand is, what is this tech that I want to do? What type of branch of tech do I want to focus on? If I'm going to focus on design, if I'm going to focus on programming, if I'm going to focus on data and product management and all what have you, writing, you first of all ask yourself, what are some interests that I have? What are some skills that I have? What are some talent that I already have that aligns with some of these things? So you first of all understand, what is this skill about? Now, if it's writing is in various forms. There's content writing, there's copywriting, there's technical writing, ghostwriting, and all what have you. So you are not going into the tech space as a writer without knowing the branch of writing that you want to go and major into. So I understand that you want to break into tech, you want to become a tech bro, tech sis, and all have you. But you must first get yourself together and understand what it is that you want to do in tech. If it's design, if it's writing, let's stick with writing for some time now. So if it's writing, now, are you going to just write out of interest, or you want to write to produce a movie? You want to write for movie makers, you want to write script, you want to write to convince people to take an action, which could be copywriting, or you just want to write something that people can just feel fantasy when they read it. So all of those things are things that you will consider. What aspect of writing am I good in before saying, okay, this is the type of thing I want to go and do in tech. Same thing applies to like design. Now, maybe you are somebody that because in design you have the brand design, you have the logo design, you have advert designs, you have 3D design, motion graphics design, and all what have you. So which aspect of them will be more interesting to me? Because you not go for the one that is going to pay more at the start. You go for the one that aligns with you first. By the time you have understood the one or two things, the nitty-gritty about it, the basic things about it, you now say, okay, I am now good in this aspect. What kind of thing can I add to this layer of skill that I have? Before you now know, okay, now I have graphic design, I can add motion design to it. So these are common things that you have to understand when you are trying to do anything in tech. Okay, so now there are some people that there are some projects that they want to embark on, and some of these projects may need them to have a knowledge in programming. Some of these same projects that need them to have a knowledge in programming also need them to have a knowledge in database analysis. There's this same project that also wants them to having this knowledge in programming, database analysis, also want them to understand one or two things about design. Actually, there are some people that are like that. You want to be versatile in some of these tech fields. So how do you bring in all of those things to yourself? One thing you have to understand is that you must find a correlation between all of these skills. How do they align? How do they complement with each other? And then you now structure a system that will enable you on how to go into it. If you are going in as somebody that understands design, somebody that understands a workflow, how something is supposed to go, maybe you can now go and learn design. What are the things, the basics of design, the principles of design, and all what have you. Then on it, you can now add something like a programming. Are you going to program with Python or Rust? Are you going to be programming with Java and C++? You find you understand the one that is going to complement more with what you want to achieve. So basically, the thing there is understanding your end product in mind, understanding what you want to achieve. All right. So while I was in the university, the program I did was geoinformatics and surveying, and in my first year in school, they told us that surveying has a definition, which has a principle actually, which is to move from the whole to the part. And what that basically means is that there should be a baseline of, you should have a baseline, a point where you call point 1 and point 2. You must establish these 2 points, and it's from these 2 points that every other measurement can be included on. Every other measurement can be taken from, because you must have to understand, okay, what is it that I want to achieve first, and then you now, once you have established that, you now be able to connect other things that are necessary, other things that are related to it. So applies to somebody that wants to go into tech. You want to understand tech, you want to do tech, you want to become a well-paid tech personnel. You want to build something out of tech, you want to be a software engineer or what have you, designer. What is it that you want to achieve first is what you understand. After you have understood that, now what do I need to do? Right? What do I need to do to be able to become proficient in some of these skills? Okay? Once you have established that, and as you are trying to establish that, you also understand that, how am I already? What are some of the special skills I have? What are some of the special talents I have that are complementing with some of the things I want to do? Okay, so after you've established some of these things, you will now create a system that, like I've just said before, you create something that will enable you to see yourself as that person you want to be. Maybe now you want to become a software developer, you want to become a brand designer, you want to become a full stack developer, you want to become a data analyst. What are some things that you have to do every day? What are some things that you have to do every week? What are some things that you have to do consistently that will make you, what are some things that this person that you want to be has to have been doing on a regular basis that will make him a proficient professional in that field? Those are some of the things that you will now find out, and you design it. You come up with a structure that allows you to live in that way. Now, you have to know what is primary first. You have to know the basic things before you start aiming for the, yes, quite interesting things like the money in it, the promotions that you can get out of it, and all of what have you. But first of all, you have to understand what this tech is about. Now, when you have now learned, when you have come to the point of, okay, I've known what to do, I have been able to structure myself that every day I will just go, and if it's something that if it's a book that you're reading, good and fine, you're going to read these pages of book, this number of hours or minutes in a day or in a week. Now, after you have established that, you will now ask, after I've learned to an extent, what can I build out of what I've already learned? Come up with something, build projects, build something that even if somebody has already done before, but you're just trying to explore what you have already learned, practicalize the things that you have already learned. So it not just be that you just learn something for learning's sake. Because some people, they just feel like consuming most of this content is just what stands them out. But no, that's not what stands you out. It is once you have consumed, then you go and practice some of the things that you have learned. That's what makes you an expert. That's what makes you proficient in a field. Now, after you have learned so well, you now go in and look for who you can work with, which you can actually work for yourself, but then you can want to partner with some of your colleagues, you can want to partner with an organization, you can want to partner with an agency to be able to deploy some of these skills that you have, which you can find them anywhere. All right, you can find them anywhere. You can even decide to go into an academy. Okay, you can even decide to go into an academy, and decide to, let me, since I've learned product design, or since I've learned data analysis, let me go and teach people data analysis. Because there's one thing that people have to also understand is that the more you teach something, the more it sticks with you, the more you own it, the more you understand it. All right, you're teaching because you want to master it. Okay, you want to master this thing, you want to have a strong grip on it, because even as you are teaching, there are some questions that people will ask you, and because of those questions that people will ask you, is going to open you up to more discoveries and even want to take you more on more research in that field. So that's why most times I also encourage people to try and go and teach what they know, because one way that knowledge, one thing that actually grows when you give it away is knowledge. Okay, even though people are biased about, okay, I don't want to, some people, you find some people that they don't want to tell you the things that they know, which they might have their reasons for doing some of those things, but then most of the time it is people that give out something, give out the knowledge that they have, that makes the knowledge be able to move around and make impact in the world and make impact in the society. So if you want to be a person of impact, because now you've learned some of these skills, you've mastered it, but then if you want to be somebody of impact, what can you do to impact, to be valuable to yourself and also impact another person, is by teaching it. So even if you don't do it in an academy, you can open up a YouTube channel. You can even record it with your, find a way to record yourself, or find somebody, one of your siblings, one of your friends, your colleagues, tell them, this is what I know, sit down, let me teach you what I know. And from there, you are mastering what you know. You are mastering what you know, and before you know it, you notice that you have become so vast, so versatile in this field. Okay, so now that you have been able to get a good grasp of this field, now what are some of the skills that somebody can learn? What are some of these tech skills that somebody can learn? Well, one is, just like I mentioned in the beginning, writing is a tech skill, because there is basically no tech that starts without ideation. All right, so in this ideation phase is where people begin to, from their thoughts, they put it on paper, and from that paper that they begin to design, okay, what am I going to do here when I get to this stage? What am I going to do in this place when I go to this stage? Who can handle here? Who can I invite to come and take care of this for me? So that's why if you are a good writer, someone that necessarily has just an idea of something can get you to come and do some writing for the person. But then writing, like I said, is in various forms. So there is the technical writing, there is the ghost writing, there is the copywriting, there is the content writing. A little search using Google or Bing or any of these browsing tools can help you with understanding of what each of these different writing means. Okay, so now over to design. In design, you have logo design, you have brand design, you have graphics design, you have motion graphics. And motion graphics is in various forms. So if you're somebody that wants to even go into graphics, you can try. First of all, you understand the principles of graphics. You understand color. You understand tone. You understand blank space, white space, saturation, and all of those things that are applicable in design. It also helps you in every form of design that you want to do, whether it's in logo, whether it's in graphics, whether it's in motion. So understanding the basics and the principles of design is what is going to enable you. Now, if you are somebody that wants to write code, you want to be a programmer, you want to write code, you want to become a software engineer, whether back end, front end, or full stack, that is being able to do in the front and in the back. So what are some of the skill stack that you can do? You can ask yourself, because some of these programming languages like Java does something different from Python, and also Python does something different from PHP, from Solidity, from React, from Django and Go and or what have you. But then you have to know what you want to achieve in the long run, and what language do you have to learn to be able to do it. Because most times, even AI that people are beginning to talk about, somebody that understands Python can be able to do some AI engineering. So try to understand the one that you want, what you want to achieve, and what tech stacks do you need to build up to be able to achieve some of these things. Okay, so it's for you to go, take your time and understand what you want to do, and then map out how to be able to do that. All right, so now if it's for somebody that you are somebody that you like organization, you like to put things in order. Okay, so you might also consider analyzing data, because one thing about data analysis is simple. There are random combinations of things. So first of all, data is just scattered everywhere, but then you want to make sense out of that data. So what do you do first? You begin to sort out some of these things. Okay, there is in this place we have this and this. Something here is common, like in a bunch of information or data, you find some similarities, something that are common between these things. So you begin to sort them out. After you are done sorting them out, you begin to arrange them. Okay, you have white things here, you have yellow things here. So when you have yellow and white, you remove the yellow from the white, put yellow things where yellow things are, put white things where white things are, put black things where black things are. Before you know it, you have, okay, you know that here is for white, here is for yellow, and that. But then, after you've done that, you will now arrange the data that you have sorted to begin to make sense out of something. Now, after it has been arranged, you can now have an idea of, okay, if I put this thing like this, if I put this yellow here, and I put green under it, and I put red on top of the yellow, and I put another this thing here, it's going to form something that can tell a story. It's going to form something that has a meaning. That is basically what data analysis is about. And now there are some softwares that enable you to be able to learn some of these things, to be able to practice if you've learned it, to be able to analyze data. You have the Postgres, you have the MySQL, you have the different SQL software, even Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is one very big software like that if you learn how to use Microsoft Excel, you can be able to do quite a lot of things. Right? So I used to encourage people that want to go into data analysis to actually learn Microsoft Excel. That software is a lot. It's a lot if you can learn it. So, but then they're not sponsoring this video, so not much on that. But what I'm trying to say is that learn some skills that complement with who you are. Okay, let it complement with who you are, so you don't walk out of a place of burnout. Okay, because most people now today, they hear that, okay, software engineering is paying so much money, but then you cannot do much in software engineering. But because you hear that software engineering is paying more, you now go and learn it. Meanwhile, you are somebody that if you've learned design, you'll be able to do something very meaningful. If you've learned video editing, how to be able to bring in sounds, how to be able to cut and join clips, things like that, do some effects that will make people to be engaged in a video. And you would have done that with so much joy, with so much enthusiasm. But then because you are going for the money, with time you see that the software engineering, you'll be burning out from that place. So you will now notice that this is not your thing. And before you know, you keep moving and keep jumping, keep pivoting from one field to another, which does not help. Now, I'm not of the opinion that pivoting is not a good thing. One thing that you will experience in your tech journey is pivot, right? A time will come whereby, just like I've also said before, whereby you move from graphic designing to motion designing to maybe another form of designing. So pivoting happens, but then pivoting carelessly is where the problem is. And before, one thing I also tell people about pivoting is that when you are pivoting, pivot from a place of experience. you have done something for quite a good number of time. You have done something for a good number of time, and you can be able to say that, okay, you have hands-on experience in this field, and that's when you can now say, okay, I am now good here, I can now do this. Okay, I am now good here, I don't want to do this particular thing this way again, let me do it this way with these new tools or with this new knowledge. Okay, so those are things that you have to understand in your career as a tech person. Okay, so now another thing that okay, let me still mention some careers. There is UI and UX design, which has to do with maybe if you use some of these apps. Like, let me use some of the common ones, maybe your OPay, your YouTube, your WhatsApp applications on your phone. What are the things that makes those, the way people be able to understand how to use those apps? There are designers that are concerned, that are majoring in how to be able to design an app so that people can just come to this app and understand how to use it. So that is in UI and in the UX. UI is the user interface and UX is the user experience. So how does this app look when somebody comes to it? How does this app look? How does this app function when somebody is using it? So these are the things that you should consider in your career. Maybe now, how you can link that to know if you are somebody that wants to go into UI, whether UI or UX design. You can ask yourself, if somebody comes into my house, or if you go into an office or a place, how do you navigate a room? How do you navigate a space? If you see a door or something that has a line or whatever, how will you be able to interpret it? Okay, how would you want people to behave? How would you want people to behave when they come into a place? Okay, so those things going on in your mind can also, when you notice that there's this pattern of me that always have this arranging of things in a way and thinking about the way people have to use it when they come, you can notice that you yourself, you're somebody that can go into user experience. Or maybe you are somebody that, okay, you want this thing to look like this. You want somebody to see that this color of black matches with this color of yellow, or this color of black matches with this color of red, or this color of black matches with this color of green. You are somebody that's more interested in those things. You can go into user interface. So those are the things that you consider in tech. There also this, just like in my field that I did, we do mostly mapping. Okay, mapping and other things though. But then in mapping, one thing that you also understand is how do maps, what does a map tell when you see it? Because maps do a lot of things. If you notice that in I'm trying to you remember something that is more common to everybody, but now in the days of Google Maps, exactly, if you want to move from a place to another, just like maybe you are somebody that is in Nigeria now and you want to move from Lagos to Abuja, or maybe let's decentralize it more. Somebody that is in Akwa Ibom State, in Uyo in Akwa Ibom State, you want to move from Waniba to Oron Road. Then you go to your Google Map. There is a linking that Google Map gives to you. So you'll be able to know how to be able to move from Waniba to Oron Road. What is the shortest distance? How can somebody look at a map? How can somebody look at a Google Map and see, okay, in this Waniba to Oron Road, there is a place where they have a hotel, there's a place where they have a gas station, there's a place where they have a restaurant, there's a place where they have fixing all of those things in a map is what makes you to be able to make that map useful to anybody that is going to use it. So even in tech, there is, which is the aspect that I'm also measuring in GIS, Geographic Information System. Now, in Geographic Information System, which is my field, where something that we do, which is to store data, to analyze data, to manipulate data, to be able to produce a certain information. So So that is what geographic information system is. So all of these things is gathering data from different places and then bringing it together to store or to analyze or to manipulate, that is to convert, use it to make something. Okay, so these are also tech skills. There are people that are also in tech that they try to manage communities. You see that you are somebody that, brings people together. You know how to relate with people, you know how to hold conversations. Then you can go into community management, which is to try to manage some communities for tech organizations, do some marketing for them, and all what have you. So all of those things are know what you are good at and then find a way to go into it fully. Now, in case you don't know me, my name is Prince Bruno and I am a geographic information system analyst. All right, and I'm also a programmer. So you see me from time to time creating videos online. I'm a content creator. Last year, 2025, I was able to bring content creators, designers, and tech enthusiasts together, and we're able to do an event which we call the Creators Convergence. All right, so if you are looking to connect with me, you can connect with me on Instagram, you can connect with me on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, all of these places, just using my handle is sirprince 2026, that is 2026. Or you quickly go to my Linktree. From there you'll be able to see most of my works, some of the things and ways that you can connect with me. My Linktree address is linktr.ee /sirprince, that is SIRPRINCE, all in low letters. So I'm so grateful to the Netizens ICT Hub for organizing something like this and bringing people who have a story to tell, who have something to say to the audience, to the public, which I took an advantage of, and I'm here speaking to you on how to be able to navigate your tech career, how to be able to do tech properly without getting burned out. So if you enjoy this, give it a like, give me a follow. If you are not following me, subscribe to my YouTube channel and all what have you. Thank you very, very much.